a little worried about turning things over to this next duo. But it's what Penny wanted. She's a brave woman. That's just one of her many attributes, though. And in order to speak about the additional attributes of Penny Harris, I give you Zach Linda-Smith and Daniel Rodriguez, both graduates of Canton Central Catholic High School.
You guys hear me okay from here?
Yep.
Well, here we are. The 2017 State Speech and Debate Tournament, hosted in Cleveland, Ohio. As you've heard, I'm Zach Linda-Smith, a 2012 graduate from Central Catholic.
And good afternoon, I'm Daniel Rodriguez, a 2013 graduate from Central Catholic. And today, for limited engagement here at Hope Community Church, you have the chance to see the two of us back here on stage for the first time since our duo days.
So, as Penny's unofficial favorite duo team, we've decided to put together, for your viewing pleasure, how to write the perfect Hall of Fame induction speech.
In the style of duo interpretation.
Step 1. Come up with the perfect idea and theme.
Not too serious, not too funny, but just enough to get them hooked.
So, how fitting is it that we're here in Cleveland, fighting to be champions, considering that this is the home of the NBA championship trophy. I'm sure that you're all ready to go out there and go for the gold and bring home your own trophies this weekend.
But first, let's take a moment here and look around the auditorium. What do we see? Boredom. Possibly, it is a very long ceremony after all. Anticipation, definitely. Today begins the largest tournament of the year thus far. A hunger to succeed? Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the state finals in the City of Champions in Believe Land. The energy this weekend is sure to be electric. Excellent. So, and of course, look around you and you will find speakers, debaters, poets, writers, thespians, teachers, staff, parents, and coaches. In particular, this coach, Penny Harris, Pasta Penne, as she is affectionately known. Put together, looking regal, with distinction, ready to push her small team on to victory. This is the face of a woman with purpose. This is the face of a woman who is bursting with pride. But take a closer look with me now, because this is the face of a woman who changed my life.
Classic move. Hit him with a stabby line and leave him waiting for more.
Step 2. So, grab the audience's attention.
So I got an idea. Let's tell a funny story to embarrass Penny to talk about how awesome she is.
I love it. So, like that one time when she showed up to your sophomore gym class so she could play you in a game of badminton because you kept bragging that you would beat the entire class.
And then she beat me in front of my entire class and the gym teacher, all while wearing a dress and heels.
Lovely example, really, but I don't really know if it shows enough how she changes lives, really.
You're right. It shows much about how much she loves winning and getting trophies. But I don't think that it shows how much she likes working to get to that point even more.
Penny Harris is selfless, nearly to a fault. Simply and completely, she pours all of herself into the good of others. A commendable and incredibly admirable gift. Step 3. Tell a better story.
That won't embarrass anyone.
Set the stage. It was a stormy summer day in 2014. It was the first day of the final rounds at NSDA Nationals, and a few current and past members of Central Catholic speech team gathered in the hallowed grounds of room 208, the epicenter of our team, and quite literally hallowed because you only needed to look above the door to see Jesus looking back down at you. Catholic schools, you understand.
But regardless, the Diamond Coaches ceremony was about to begin, and Mrs. Harris was about to be recognized for her second diamond. And it was at that literal moment that everyone in the room became ravenously hungry. So no surprise, of course. So she offered to drive a few of us to go pick up food for the group. just as we're driving away from the school, the tornado sirens begin to go off. But she was determined. No funnel cloud was going to get in the way of her getting food for her kids, and in the process, missed her diamond ceremony presentation.
And that is precisely the kind of coach, the kind of person that Penny Harris is. She will literally drive through a twister for you, or with you in this case, even if it means missing the announcement of her own award, because it is never about her. This is not a woman who will shy away from the difficult or the complicated or the downright daunting. When all of the odds are stacked against you, she will bet on you. When nobody else hears your voice, she will amplify it. When nobody else believes in you, she will, even if you don't see the potential inside of yourself.
Step 4. Hit her with the emotions.
Get happy to sad in 2 sentences.
I don't know what I did to deserve such a great coach, mentor, and friend. Penny and I have had it out plenty of times during the years, believe me, but she's never lost faith in me or given up. I have received plenty of phone calls and voicemails throughout ungodly hours of the day and night about how she's got new ideas for blogging or new ideas for different cuttings. In addition, I've also gotten plenty of phone calls and voicemails in ungodly hours of the day of her yelling at me for doing something stupid or doing something that I shouldn't have done, or telling me that if I don't get my act together in practice and do what she tells me to do, I can have fun at the awards ceremony watching everybody else place while I sit there. She always believed in who I was and was constantly pushing me to be a better person, because she always saw the champion that was inside of me, even when I didn't.
I can confidently assert that Penny Harris single-handedly helped me to discover my voice, an indelible contribution that has sparked the rest of my life brilliantly ablaze. Our words have an incredible and near magical quality that is intrinsic to the letters that comprise them. She heard that, she saw that, and she nurtured that. In me, in us. And for that, I am forever grateful. Central Catholic High School, the speech community, and the world are undoubtedly a better place because of Penny Harris. Step 5!
Get to the point of the theme across.
And connect all the loose ends.
And now here we are, the state finals, when we have the chance to go for the ultimate prize and win the state championship. But Penny has showed us that this isn't what speech and debate is about.
Yes, there will always be one more rank or one round that could have gone better, or one more break, or moved on to another trophy, or getting a Perry chair, or... But at the end of it all, that's not what this incredible activity is about.
I've heard my dad say, who's also a coach, that a trophy you won in high school should never be the best moment in your life, and that you should always keep striving to do something better. How sad would it be if in 40 years, you're still talking about how awesome it was when you won this award or won that award? Cherish those moments, yes, but keep that hunger to always do something better.
As we look back, we can say that we had some great memories and that we've done some amazing things since then. Speech and debate was the launch pad for all of our current and future successes, and Mrs. Harris was standing there alongside us for the entirety of the way.
It's moments like these that are the ones that will live forever, not the trophies and not the accolades. Being asked to present for someone that has done so much for me and been so instrumental in shaping who I am, for an award that she has worked so hard to earn. While I didn't always realize it, Penny, you were the grand prize. You were the trophy I never had to earn. Congratulations. There is no one I can think of more that deserves this award. This is an honor that I know will never fade away and will always be one of my fondest memories.
She is the trophy that we never had to win. And I will spend the rest of my life cherishing the time, treasure, and color that she has given to my life, our lives. Undoubtedly, we have been changed for the better. Congratulations. What an honor. And scene!
alongside each other for a lot of years, and we always like to help each other out. So I'd like to say that first of all, you were overtime. Second of all, I think I saw you hit each other, and I think you looked each other in the eyes. Seriously, it is my pleasure to add to the words of Zach and Daniel in honor of Penny Harris. It takes a village to raise a child. In 1996, Hillary Clinton, then First Lady of the United States, borrowed the sentiment from this African proverb for the title of her book, which claimed that it takes a whole community to successfully rear a child. I know. Cute fact, Missy. What does this have to do with Penny? Well, picture this. It's June 2016, and 6 students and 5 coaches from 4 schools found ourselves sharing a house in the hills of Salt Lake City. Poring over event schedules, venues, Google Maps, judging assignments, lunch options, and wondering how we would manage it all. Quickly, a plan was hatched. Penny would take my boy student with her in the morning while I transported congressional debaters downtown. Way downtown. Whoever was free collected lunch orders and delivered it to all of our students at various venues, while others judged. And oh, there were Starbucks runs. And before you know it, hashtag It Takes a Village became our social media staple. Because fact, it also takes a village to survive in the world of speech and debate. Now every village needs its jester. And Penny has been the jester of my village from the beginning of our friendship. Well, almost. She has openly admitted she didn't like me much when I first returned from New York. My reply? I could tell, so I didn't like you. But why didn't you like me? Her reply? I don't know. Awesome. Now, we did move past this, and we eventually came to appreciate each other's awesomeness. So, fast forward 4 years, and we are at another national tournament, and we decide to take our kids to a water park. Being 2 women of ample size, we found ourselves floating down the lazy river on inner tubes. The lazy river that eventually dumped us into waist-deep water when the rapids started coming back. So there we are, in waist-deep water. As I tried over and over again to get myself back atop my inner tube. The same inner tube that kept shooting into the sky behind me. Over and over again. And what did Penny do? She laughed. And laughed and laughed. However, once she recovered, she valiantly extracted herself from her own inner tube, got down on one knee, and offered her other knee as a step stool. Hashtag It Takes a Village. Of course, as we floated away, our laughter died as we looked up to see 2 stoic lifeguards acting like they hadn't seen a thing. Nice try, boys. Now that I think about it, maybe I'm the jester in that story and she's the heroine, which is not an uncommon place to find her. After all, every village also needs an artisan, and Penny has been that for me and for my team. Just this year, when I realized my creativity was tapped out, and I couldn't seem to fix one of my duo teams, Penny simply replied with, "When are you practicing with them again, and what time should I be there?" She came, she fixed, and they conquered. Hashtag It Takes a Village. Now, I think we would all agree that probably the most important member of any village is the village sage. So let me take you back to the state tournament of 2012, when one of my seniors did something really stupid around. It happens. To make a long story short, I tracked him down, lost my temper, and stormed off. When I returned to the tab room, I was still fuming. At the student, but also at myself. And what happened next, I have never forgotten. Penny walked over to me, put her hand on my shoulder, and quietly said, "Remember, God isn't done with them yet." And with those simple words, that phrase, Penny has shaped the coach that I have tried to be ever since. Hashtag, it takes a village. Yes, Penny is a part of my village. I can laugh with her. I can fight with her. I can depend on her, and I can trust her. But most importantly, coaching alongside her has made me a better coach. Ladies and gentlemen, please be a part of Penny's Village today and join Zach, Daniel, and me as we have the incredible honor and great joy of welcoming my friend Penny Harris to the OHSSL Coaches Hall of Fame. Everyone. According to comedian C.K. Lewis, life isn't something you possess, it's something you take part in and something you witness. Thank you, Cleveland, for welcoming us to the land. The land where we are all witnesses. Where LeBron James proved that a dream fueled by dedication, drive, and vision can be achieved. How appropriate that the land is hosting the OHSSL State Championship this weekend. We may flex different muscles in speech and debate, but we have several common denominators. Similarities such as passion, competitiveness, and heart. We are all witnesses to the power and the effectiveness of speech and debate. I am so honored to be standing here to join this group of people whom I admire and I respect. But no one stands in the land alone. Many people are standing here with me, including all of you. We are all witnesses. What I want to share with you is my witness. How I got here, what I've witnessed, and why I love the land. I'm just a girl from Canton. Canton is where I started and where I still am today. 30 years ago, I was a sophomore. I joined the speech and debate team, and I competed in prose and poetry. I was awful. Now, it's important to know that I blame him. Daniel Helmius, it's his fault. He gave me a piece about being a coal miner's daughter. No, it wasn't a good theme in 1987 either. But believe me, I was something to witness. I had this very dramatic ending that went something like this. Coal miner daughters fighting to get home. Now, I got a 1 with that. At Worcester. Witness. There were squirrel judges back then too, kids. Now, the next year, my best friend joined the team, and we were going to do duet acting. And we did for the next 2 years. and we made history. Now, some of that history was winning. As Zach mentioned, I like to win. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a little competitive. Okay? I'm ridiculously competitive. I accept that. But what I always tell my students, when something isn't fun, I tell them, kids, do you know what's fun? Winning is fun! That's right, everyone. Winning is fun! Heather and I were pretty good. We qualified to state. We placed in many local tournaments. Duet acting back in the day didn't go to nationals, so that wasn't a big deal. But we were something to witness. Now, for any of you who have ever been in a partner category, you know that sometimes it's difficult to work with a partner. There are problems, there are disagreements, there are catfights. My teammates witnessed a fight outside the bus one Saturday morning between my partner and I that is still talked about in the halls of McKinley High School. I won't go into details. All you need to know is this. I was right, and she was wrong. When my coach yelled for me to get back on the bus, I turned and saw 40 faces smash up against the glass of the windows watching us fight. Because remember, kids, there's always a witness. My memories of speech and debate are rooted in my first coaches, Alan Rubenstein and Emmanuel Halpius. They took a personal interest in me, and they changed the trajectory of my life. The things I have witnessed as a student and as a coach influence what I do for 24 of my weekends every year. Every day after school from 3 to 5, or 6, or 7, and sometimes on Sundays. Speech and debate has given me some of my most cherished memories. I wish that you could have witnessed Jeremy Hamilton partake in a tab room dance party at Cynthia High School. It happened. Kathy Patron pulled a t-shirt like a machine perfectly. Christy Kramer and I, my former coach of our debate team, we got into a fight at our tournament over when the kids were allowed to eat the leftover hot dogs. The sketchy motel room where I told the kids, just stay inside and keep the doors locked. When the kids dared me to pretend my super fuzzy purse was a puppy in the restaurant because they were bored, and I did. And somebody told on us, and we almost got kicked out. And then they were embarrassed because they didn't think I'd do it. Did they know me? When we accidentally blew through the Easy Pass line. Oh, without an Easy Pass. There's a fine for that, by the way. Almost teaching Drake Spina how to wash out a bowl and put it in the dishwasher. I was this close. Speech and debate will undoubtedly provide each of you with great memories as well. It'll also establish friendships that will last a lifetime. Manuel Halpius, you were the first. Thank you for your guidance, your undying support, your continued friendship, and so many memories. Zach and Daniel, thank you for being here today. Your dedication, your drive, and most importantly, your friendship is so valuable to me. To think that I've had a small part of who and what you are today is something that just makes me so proud. I know you guys have always thought you're my favorites, and you are, but so are all my students. You're all my favorites, but you two do have a very special place in my heart. Kathy Patron and John Weaver, such class acts. Your friendship and respect mean the world to me. Missy Sturtzbach, I respect you immensely as a coach as a district chair, as a board member. Your dedication to every student in the state and what you do to help all of your coaches is just astounding. But more astounding to me and more important and more valuable to me is your friendship. So thank you for everything. And to all my friends across the state, my speech family in Akron and Canton, my friends in Youngstown that are like my second district, my friends across the state that I don't get to see as often as I would like, and my friends with whom I serve on the board, thank you for your friendship. You've all witnessed the effects of speech and debate in your own lives as well. You've witnessed your coaches who ride on school buses to take you to tournaments at ridiculous hours. They read entire novels, make you a 10-minute cutting, which, by the way, you're not going to like, and then they're going to have to do it again. They make sure that your hotel has a pool. They run at midnight in strange cities to buy you Pepto-Bismol, pantyhose, legal pads, whatever it is you forgot or suddenly need. They cry with you when you break the finals. And they cry for you when you don't. Your teammates have been witnesses also. They've watched you practice, made suggestions, and cheered you on. But let's not forget our families. When you first began this endeavor, your parents probably said something like, "You want to do what?" On Saturdays. I gotta drop you off at what time? But they jumped right in. They bought you suits. They picked you up at midnight. They got roped into judging. But most importantly, they witnessed you grow. My family is a witness as well. My brother Kirk is here today. He flew in last night from North or South Carolina, whichever Carolina he was in. Drove early, ridiculous early this morning to be here. He knows that when speech and debate season comes, I'll disappear. I won't be able to answer the phone. He won't see me as often, but he doesn't complain. He just says, "Oh, speech tournament? Yeah." But he's always been one of my biggest supporters and one of our best cheerleaders. So thank you for being here today. My daughter Kennedy, she's been a witness since birth. She was at her first Central Catholic speech practice when she was 2 weeks old. Her first tournament, 5 weeks later. She has slept on countless tavern floors and cafeterias across the state and nation, and I'm fairly certain she learned her first curse words from Nick Bolas. He taught her how to use them well. It's okay, I guess. Kennedy, thank you for sharing your mom. I appreciate it. I can't always be at everything like her volleyball team tonight. I'm going to miss that. But, Kennedy, you remember, what's 5? Okay. My first supporter, however, was my mom. She was my biggest fan. She cheered for my kids. She made them cookies when we used to practice on snow days. She took care of Kennedy for me so I could do what I love to do. She was at Glen Oak High School when I qualified my first duo team to nationals in 2003. She was so excited, and I'm so thankful that she was able to share that experience with me. She passed away 2 months later. My mom got to witness the wonder of my students achieving, but what I'll tell you is that my mom was a witness. And what she taught me is that you have to push yourself. You have to have drive. You have to want it. You have to give it your all. And if you do that, you can walk out of that round with your head held high, win or lose, no regrets. I'm sure she's witnessing this right now. To my administration who's here, Father Kaler, who has been behind us 100% from the first day I walked through the door and said that I wanted to do this. Our Director of Guidance, Jeff Linden-Smith, whose son Zach is one of my presenters, as well as his wife Carla. They were at more speech competitions than anyone that I've known, especially. He's also our football coach, and that's pretty phenomenal, and they're great supporters. Thank you for traveling to the land. Thank you for sharing in this special day with me. To my parents who've allowed me to be part of your children's lives, thank you. To my alumni, thank you for giving back and for investing in the future. To my team, thank you for your hard work and dedication. I expect a great deal from you because I know what you can achieve. I stand here today as a witness of the lasting effects of speech and debate. Please stand today with me and witness if you are a parent who's seen their child benefit from speech and debate. Stand and witness if you're an alumni who still uses their speech and debate skills. Stand and witness if you're a coach whose greatest success comes from your kids' growth, even if they never win a round. If you are an administrator who believes in the importance of speech and debate, stand and witness if you are a student who has dreamed, believed, and is ready to achieve.